Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Hi, my name's Amy, it's lovely to meet you. On this channel I post about frugal living and feeding your family on a budget. So if you like that kind of thing, I'd love it if you would subscribe if you want to stick around and hear more from me. So in this video I wanted to talk about some things that may help you in the current cost of living crisis. As we all know, costs are going up across the board, so fuel's going up, energy is going up, food is going, everything's going up. Just everything is going up at the moment. I'm not going to be talking about food in this video. I have got lots of other videos on saving money on food, so I will link some of those in the description below. This is about sort of fuel costs and energy costs and general other life stuff. So these are some things that you may not have thought of, you may not have heard about before, just some different things that we know that we do that do help to save us some money, and I thought I'd share them with you. They are not the kind of turn your thermostat down or switch your lights off and use your car less. These are things that are maybe slightly different. You may have heard of some of them, you may not. Let's get on with it. So when it comes to your home and keeping energy costs down, one thing that we do is we have blackout blinds in the majority of our windows. These weren't expensive blackout blinds. We got the blackout blinds which just stick on from IKEA. I think they were £5 at the time. I think they're £5.50 now per blind, and you can also cut them down to fit windows. During the winter they help to keep heat in the house, and during the summer they help to keep heat out of the house. So whatever time of year we are getting a benefit from them, but certainly when we need to pop the heating on, it really keeps the heat in, which means we can have the heating on for a lot less time. In the same vein, if you have leather sofas or just sort of plasticky sofas, anything that doesn't have like a soft covering to it, soft furnishings, cover it with a blanket or a throw. I've got this one on here because this is a leather sofa under here, and it just helps retain some heat. If you have any wooden flooring and you don't have rugs and things like that down on there, then just if you're using a room with a wooden floor and you know you're going to be in there for a while and you've put the heating on, we do this in our living room, just put an old duvet on the floor, something like that, and it will absorb some of the heat, which means you can switch the heating off and it will keep the heat in the room. Something else we do on energy costs, which is something I didn't even really realise that I was doing, but it does save us money looking at the bills, is if I need to get up during the night, so if I need to go and see to the children, or I'm an awful one for needing something to eat after I've gone to bed. I know it's a bad habit, but I do. So I come downstairs, or even just like getting up to go to the loo in the night, anything like that, I never put a light on. I use the torch on my phone. It uses a lot less electricity to charge my phone than it does putting the light on. It's something, like I say, I didn't even realise I did, and it just happened to be a conversation Ian and I were having, and he got up for something and put the light on. I was like, what on earth are you doing, you crazy person? Just use the torch on your phone. Okay, and thinking about healthcare for a bit, glasses, prescription glasses can be so expensive. What we do is we buy them online. There's two different companies that we've used in the past. So we've used Glasses Direct and we've also used Goggles for You. And we've done this for about 5 years now, and we've not had a problem. You do need to bear in mind that they take a little while to arrive, but the cost of glasses, I mean, it's been at least 90% cheaper than we would have been paying. It's just an insane amount of money you can save that way. And another thing is on prescriptions. Lots of people will know about the 12 months that you can buy as sort of like you're kind of buying your prescriptions in advance almost. It's like a subscription for 12 months. So you pay for that, and then however many prescriptions you need to get within that time, they're all kind of covered by that. So that works out that if you pay for 12 months and you had one prescription per month, you would still save a month's worth. But if you had two prescriptions, you would save a lot more, and it just builds up and builds up and builds up depending how many you have. But the other thing is that they do a 3-month version as well. The 3-month version, although it doesn't work out as beneficial. So if you just have one prescription per month, you don't save any money on the prescription cost. It actually costs you slightly more. However, if you just had one extra prescription during that 3-month period, it's worth doing. Talking about fuel costs, so obviously prices are just sky high. They kind of seem to have plateaued a bit, but who knows how long that'll last. I certainly don't see them coming down in the very near future. So while they are still high and people do need to use their cars, I know that for us it's not an option to just not use our car. Yes, we've cut out the unnecessary trips and all of those sorts of things, but when we do need to use the car, there are still certain things we do. So the first thing we do is that Ian wears work boots when he's at work. He drives himself to and from work. His work boots are really heavy. Now, one thing that we noticed a few years ago was that when he was wearing different shoes, sort of more everyday shoes, he was actually using less fuel. So what he does now is he switches his shoes when he gets in the car, and then he puts his work boots on when he gets to work. And that does help save quite a lot of fuel. Also, take out anything unnecessary from your car. Any extra weight that you have in your car can really impact the amount of fuel that you're using. So just have a look through. If there's anything that you don't need in there, take it out. Any small amounts of weight do add up, so yeah, get those items out of your car. And finally, when it comes to the car, this isn't something that everybody can do, and it's just something that we happen to have noticed, so we take advantage of. We know that in our current car, this hasn't been the case for all of our cars, it always seems to be different, but in our current car, we know that the person who drives it the most economically is myself. So when we are going somewhere and both of us are going, although Ian is a driver by trade, I drive. We don't always do it that way, so what we'll do if we have like a long trip is we'll make sure that I just do the majority of the driving, but generally speaking, if we're both going somewhere together, we try and arrange it so that I can drive. Sometimes it can be a £10–15 difference in the fuel cost just with me driving versus Ian over a longer distance. So on the topic of going out, we used to spend a fortune on day trips with the children. Something that we found helped massively, although it is an additional cost, so only if it fits into your budget, is to join the National Trust and English Heritage, both of which give a vast array of different ideas for days out, different places you can go, but also during school holidays, most places, it does depend on how popular a place is, but most places within National Trust and English Heritage will also put on events which are usually free. They're not always free, but for the most part they are, where you can take your children along, they can take part in different activities. They have a brilliant time. It doesn't cost very much money at all. So English Heritage is, I believe, £9.50, something around that. It's less than £10 per month if you pay monthly for a family with 2 adults and up to 12 children. The other thing with English Heritage is if you are a club card holder and you save up your vouchers, you can get 3 times the value towards an English Heritage membership as well. National Trust is slightly more expensive. It comes in at just under £12 per month, both of which are really good options. English Heritage, though, I do find tend to do more events for children, which are brilliant for the girls. Also, entertainment-wise, if you love audiobooks, which I do, I used to use Audible, I do still use Audible, but I go through an awful lot of books, and my library do audiobooks as well. So I use that now, and that saves us a fortune on books that we otherwise would have bought. I would listen to once and then that would be it. Also from the library, don't forget that they do DVDs, they do magazines, they do newspapers. It's not just books from your library, they do all sorts of things to keep you entertained, as well as running different events in libraries, again for the children during holidays and things. So I hope there's something that could be of use to you in amongst there somewhere. These, like I say, they're all things that we do just subconsciously now really. that are just part of our life, and they definitely save us money over the course of the year. And I think at the moment some of those could be particularly helpful with costs rising if they're things that maybe you don't do. And if you have any others, I would love it if you would leave it in the comments below, because I am always looking for ways to save myself some money, as you know. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I would love it if you would subscribe if you want to stick around and hear more from me. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!